Attention everybody, this is your Officer Thomas speaking, welcoming you to another episode of I Collect. So who and what are we featuring today? Well, let me give you a clue, and it's in what I'm wearing today, which is a military-inspired field jacket. I reckon you already know what the theme is today. So without delay, let's double up and go meet our collector.
Hi, I'm Alvin, and I collect military items.
Alvin,
Yes.
let's talk a little bit about your collecting journey.
Sure.
How did all this passion of collecting military item begin?
Well, as a young boy, many years ago, I started with watching military movies, famous Hollywood productions, and I also did a bit of plastic modeling. So I started to look around to see if I could find life-size items like that. And as I looked online, I couldn't find that many items actually. But I got lucky and I purchased what you see here.
Okay.
This is one of my first few items.
Okay, that's a German soldier.
Yes, it is a German wool tunic that was worn by the soldiers back then during World War II. It is a reproduction item.
Okay.
And I also have an item down here
Okay.
when I first collected. This is actually a hat from the East German Army. So
okay.
that is post-World War II. I realized that it didn't look that correct because of the color and the shape. So I had it resewn and I added some World War II insignia over here. So that was my first dab into like getting things authentic and making
Okay.
things look correct. So that was many years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. And if I were to compare what I have now,
Okay.
this
Colour.
is more of a recent reproduction.
So that's the correct color.
It is. This would be the correct color.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. So this was something that I learned along the way as well.
okay.
Yeah.
So Alvin, you mentioned earlier, right, that you wanted something life size. So that got you started collecting military items. So what else? Any other things that trigger you to move on to this collecting journey and collecting more?
Well, in addition to what you have mentioned,
Yeah.
I realized that as I did more and more model kit building, I was making more of the German soldiers.
Okay.
So I was very intrigued by the uniforms that they wore, the medals and such, and also their personal and combat equipment. So it is because of this, right, I realized that collecting just the uniform or beginning with a helmet is not enough. I wanted a complete set of
Okay.
uniforms and equipment.
Okay.
So this begins the hunt for it.
So other than this German uniform you don on, what else do you have that is from your earlier collection?
Well, what I have here is a Japanese soft cap
Okay.
from the Second World War. So this is an example made of wool,
Yes.
and it looks a bit strange in its shape and form because at that time I didn't know. I washed it in a washing machine,
Oh,
and
okay.
wool being wool, it shrank and,
Yes.
and it became like that.
Okay.
So along the way, I also learned how to maintain and take care of items properly.
Okay.
Yeah. What I have here would be this belt that I wore during my National Cadet Corps days, my NCC days in secondary school. So I thought that, since this is my own item, it should be kept by me.
Okay.
And I should preserve how it looks like to just share with you and others interested.
So this is NCC days.
Yes.
Okay.
And of course, I can't fit into this now. Yeah. So this is a reminder of how narrow my waist was last time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I also have these. This will be the epaulet
Okay, yes.
of the
Yeah,
NCC
yeah.
uniform.
Yes.
Yeah. And this is the shoulder tab that I wore on my old uniform as well.
Yes.
So I was from Outram Secondary. I actually asked my platoon sergeant, can I have these for keeps at the end of my service? He said yes, and there you have it. It's in my possession since then.
Yeah.
And it is indeed a collector's item.
So Alvin, this is our old Singapore SAF Temasek green uniform. Wow. This is really nice. Tell us about your collection of the Singapore military item collection.
Sure. So what I'm wearing for a start
Yes.
would be what a soldier or an officer, how he would look like during the
Yes.
1960s and 70s. how I'm dressed up is actually of a captain
Okay.
of the Singapore Combat Engineers,
Okay.
yeah, which is my unit
Okay.
when I was a national serviceman.
Okay.
So it is very apt that I wear that as well.
Yes.
So what I have here is the Temasek green uniform with the rank pips and also the insignia that represents that. And also let me share some of the other rare items that I have in my collection.
Okay. Let's take a look.
To begin with, this helmet here, I'm sure a lot of NS men
Yes.
would recognize the helmet.
Correct.
But however, it is the cover that
Yes.
spells the magic.
Yes.
This is because this was the very first type of helmet camouflage that was used
Okay.
in our Singapore Armed Forces.
I'm sure a lot of people do not know about that.
Yes, so it was of this type,
Yes. I'm seeing.
and it took me 20 years to find this.
Oh, okay.
Yep, but at
that
once,
difficult to find?
It is very difficult to find, but I was very lucky. When I found one, I didn't find one but two. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
So this is how
the cover.
this is how the cover looks like.
All right.
So moving on,
Yes.
in the late 60s and early 70s, we transited towards using this cover
Yes.
for the helmet. So this is called the lizard pattern. And some soldiers make fun of it. They call it the watermelon pattern. Yeah, because it looks like
Yeah, it does look like.
it had like a watermelon
Yes.
camouflage on it.
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah, so this was used for the many metal helmets that we had. Moving on, what I have down here will be the ammunition pouches that the soldier would carry. So each soldier will wear two of these at the front, and these would contain the very short M16 magazines
Yes.
that he carried last time. So the thing about this is that it is once again a very rare and sought after item. Interestingly, one of these I purchased from a New Zealand collector,
Oh, okay.
and the other one I purchased from a collector in Spain.
I see that there's a lanyard there. I don't think we have it on our current military uniform. What is it for?
Yes, you're right. Well, this is for the officers of that time
Okay.
because they were given their own sidearm. So this is actually attached to the service revolver
okay.
to prevent it from dropping off. Yeah. So this is what I have in my hands. A rubber replica of the
Okay.
revolver that were being used by the Singapore Armed Forces back then.
Okay. Wow, Alvin. Tell us about this military gear that you put on. I know that this is Japanese. Tell us more about this.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
So I'm dressed up as how a fighter pilot of the Japanese army would look like during the Second World War. So what I have on would be the flight helmet and the goggles. These were called cat's eyes. Yep, it was a nickname given by the pilots back then. And I also have the full uniform here with my gloves. By the way, I have the rank of a naval lieutenant.
Oh, okay.
And beneath me, I'm wearing the flotation device and also the harness whereby I will attach the parachute at the back.
Ah, okay. Alvin, I recognize this. This is the British soldier uniform, correct?
Yes, you're right. So what I have on is the British uniform that would have been worn in tropical countries such as Singapore and Malaya at that time. So this was developed for this purpose. Otherwise, if the soldier was in the UK, he would have been wearing the wool uniforms
Okay.
over there.
Yes.
So what I have here is a uniform that is worn by the British soldier along with the metal helmet.
Alvin, these must be some of the personal effects of a soldier. Tell us a bit about all these items here.
Sure. What you see in front of you is whatever that is carried by the British infantrymen during the Second World War. Everything would have been stuffed into this small fuel pack. All right, they call it the small pack. So I must say that some of the items here are varied because every soldier had their own list of equipment that they wanted to bring.
Okay.
But some are standardized items.
Okay.
And with us today, we have a mixture of reproductions and originals.
Okay, so which are the original items?
The originals items, we have all this. These will be food powder and the first field dressing and also the shell dressing for the soldier. The other items will be like socks, puttees, which are known as foot wraps, a vanity kit, I would say. Actually, it is called the wash roll.
I see.
Yeah. So in it will be the hygiene items of the infantryman. So we have like a spoon, toothpaste, the shaving brush, and so on. Yeah. And over here, we have something called the housewife. Yeah. Why is that so? Because the soldier is expected to mend broken parts of the uniforms and the simple repairs, you see. In addition to that, we have another canteen, water canteen. Food items, right? These are just examples of it. We have boiled sweets and also famous Horlicks tablets.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what about this bag here?
This particular bag, if you open it,
okay.
you will see a marking over here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it says Bata.
Yes, you are right.
1943. Am I right?
Yes, fantastic job. Now, Bata, the shoe that many Singaporeans wear,
Yes.
all right, which is synonymous with our lifestyle,
Yes.
was a canvas production company in India during the Second World War.
I see.
So they created bags like these and other combat equipment for the British soldier to wear.
Alvin, let's move to this side of your collection. I see that you have quite a fair bit of, I believe, German uniform. Can you
Yes.
talk a little bit about this? Let me take this out and tell us about this one.
All right. So for this one, this is a wool uniform worn by the German Air Force personnel, specifically the paratroopers, because this is the paratroop badge,
Yes.
the qualification badge for them. And the wearer of this uniform is more like a senior sergeant, given the rank and the gauls over here. And this uniform is more of like a greyish blue color because it kind of represented the Air Force.
I see. Okay.
And what you're holding is a top-notch reproduction from the United States that I bought many years ago. And my emphasis in collecting is that I want everything to be as genuine and as authentic as possible.
Okay.
Yep. So hence, this is the best that you can get.
Okay, Alvin, what about this piece here?
All right. So what you're holding is the real McCoy. This is a genuine German uniform from the Second World War.
Wow. Okay.
Now this was developed early in the war, so you can see that everything is like top notch. The attention to details,
Yes.
the wool, the color, and also the insignia is like the better quality ones, although this has aged with time. And this was what the soldiers would have worn back then when they went out for their ceremonies, and it was like a walking out uniform as well. So over here, this piece is the marksmanship lanyard
Okay.
to denote their proficiency with small arms.
Okay. I have a question because I see that you have a lot of mostly the German soldier uniform. Is that something that you like a lot about the German uniform?
Yes, indeed, because there were many variations, and also there were many different types of patches and insignia available at that time. So this is already like a field of study in its own. And they were also the ones who wore their medals and badges into combat. So this really piqued my interest.
Okay. So Alvin, I know that another interest of yours is to collect movie props.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so I know that you brought out some of your collection. Tell us which movie they are from.
Sure. So to begin with,
Okay.
the one at the back here,
Okay, this is a military
yes,
uniform.
it is.
Yes.
It's supposedly
Korean.
North Korean.
Ah, okay.
It is from a very famous James Bond movie, Die Another Day.
Oh, the Pierce Brosnan era.
Yes, you're right. Yeah, this is the actual prop from that film.
Okay.
Over here,
Yes.
we have a
Typewriter.
functioning typewriter from the movie Valkyrie, starring
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise.
Yes, I know that movie. Yes.
Yeah. Next up, we have a hat from Fury.
The Brad Pitt movie. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Yes, and lastly, for the older generation, I would say. Yeah, first
People
of all,
like me.
how do you feel holding this?
Super light. It feels like maybe like a toy, like just a plastic toy helmet.
Yeah, so it is a prop from the British sitcom Allo Allo of the 1980s.
Wow. Okay. One of my favorite comedies.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, so with all this, I bring and I own a bit of movie magic right here in my home.
Fantastic. So Alvin, I also know that you are involved in recent times with as a consultant for movie production companies when they want to ensure accuracy and an authenticity of any military theme item that they want to use in the movie. Tell us which movie you are involved in.
Alright, some of the movies that I've been involved in.
Yes.
Zombiepura,
Okay.
2359,
Yes.
and also one very recent one
Okay.
that I've been involved in.
Okay.
It's actually a documentary about the Flying Tigers during
okay.
World War II.
Okay.
It was to honor one of the important pilots
Okay.
who lives in Singapore.
Yes.
I do have the cockpit
Wow.
whereby the production crew was about to throw away. So I told them, no, don't waste it. Let me have it since I'm a collector.
Oh, yes.
And they obliged. It's in my living room.
Okay.
So let's go and have a look.
Sure.
So here I am. This is the B-25 bomber cockpit that I was talking about earlier on. So this was done by the production team, and they have really put in a lot of effort to recreate the instrument panel to how it looked like during the Second World War, with a lot of switches and a lot of gauges, all in a very nice arrangement. So for this, I am still very grateful to them, and I intend to use this to show off to my other visitors when they visit my home, because this is by far the largest movie prop that I have in my living room. And at the same time, I'm dressed as a US Airborne captain, and I'm seated in the pilot seat. And beside me would be where the co-pilot would sit. So, I guess this is all, and signing off now.
Thanks for watching, and we hope you liked today's episode. Order of the day: like, share, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you have not subscribed to iCollect. You have 5 seconds to do it. The counting starts now. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. Well done. Thank you. And this is your officer, Thomas, signing out. You can follow now.
Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars, and let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, baby, kiss me.
Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you.